We are back with another Marvel Legends UK action figure review. Today we're going to be looking at the 2-pack from the 80 Years series, Marvel's Colossus and Juggernaut. Here we go. So here we are with an action figure review based on the 80 Years editions of Colossus and Juggernaut, and I'm just going to address the elephant in the room. We have had this guy already. Whether or not you throw in a couple of extra accessories, this guy we managed to recreate from buying a full Build-A-Figure wave, which was back in the day the first X-Men wave, in terms of like when Hasbro started to throw the force behind it. We'd had the previous Toys R Us action figure wave, but this guy we got with the Phoenix, with the brown suited Wolverine. We've had him before. It's one of the questions that I'm going to be bringing up with Hasbro when we manage to get the interview with them when they do come to London's Comic Con, to ask why we are getting these rehashes of figures that we've had. We've seen it a number of times now, most recently with the Grandmaster. We've got him in a 2-pack with Korg, and then we've got him in a 2-pack with his brother with a slight significant change or smile on his face. I think collectors are getting it extremely frustrating that they're having to basically pay twice the amount for let's say one figure from the pack when they've already got another. I mean, it's great that this gives the opportunity for people to maybe finish off the Juggernaut, because as we know he got particularly hard to complete, with the leg being associated to Rogue and the head being associated to the Wolverine. So I get that it gives other people opportunity to collect or finish off their Build-A-Figure. But at the same time, if we're buying out a full wave to complete a Build-A-Figure, which then gets released down the line for a mere 30 quid, this 2-pack here in the UK is going between anywhere between £45 and £60. So if you say on average it works out about £25 to £30 a figure, you're actually getting a full Build-A-Figure Juggernaut for around about 30 quid, which completely devalues the one that we've had previously, which we'll do a comparison of later on. But you know, staying positive, it does come with some really cool accessories, which I'm going to get into later on. If you spin it around, as you can see, we've got some really cool artwork down the side. Down the right hand side in terms of the Juggernaut. It's really struggling to get all that in terms of the space that I've got. What I'll do is I'll throw that up on the channel separately, and then obviously on the back of the box as well we've got two different bios. We've got a bio for Colossus here, if you want to read it, pause it now, and then one for Juggernaut here, same again, if you want to read it, pause it now. Cool. But yeah, I see this as a one of the fight packs that we got a number of years ago, the face-off packs, when we got the likes of the Punisher and Jigsaw and Daredevil and Kingpin and Wolverine and Sabretooth. For me, this falls very similarly in terms of those lines, because we've got two ginormous characters going at it one for one. You know, they're at each other's throats in the comics, they're at each other's throats in the films. So throwing these two in the 2-pack made sense, whilst at the same time frustrating a lot of collectors. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break these guys out of the box, go through them more in significant detail, and then do a couple of comparisons. So here we have Colossus and Juggernaut outside of the packaging, along with their accessories. First up, we'll have a look at the Juggernaut accessories, which are slightly impressive compared to the previous Build-A-Figure. We've got the massive hands, two open gripping hands, both with a soft rubbery type knuckle duster. This one's more of an open hand, whereas this one is more of a gripping hand. As you can see, they're really nicely done. Veins on the back of the hand. Be quite interested to see what Hasbro use these for going forward. As we know, they always like to retool or reuse parts. Maybe a strong guy. Comment or sound off in the comments below. Let us know what you think these might be used for. We have the alternative head for Juggernaut, which is a Kane, Marco, or beat up. Looks like he's had a bit of a run-in with Colossus. And then we've got a split or busted open Juggernaut head helmet, which again is done in a soft pliable plastic, and as you can see around the edges we've got some silver shading, so that's quite a nice addition. Some silver dry brushing. With Colossus, we've got a couple of close fists. These we've seen before. The right one in particular we've seen on the previous Colossus. The left one, I'm pretty sure if we've seen this design on maybe a cable. I can't think off the top of my head. These little rivets in the back of the hand, if you can see. Definitely a reuse. Trying to think off the top of my head what we'd have had them for. Looking at the figures up close, Juggernaut is done in a more accurate, comic book accurate colour, like a maroon red. Only difference that I can see so far with this figure compared to the original Builder figure is the lack of a rubber belt. The colour coordination, like I say, it is a slight maroon red, but also the head sculpt. As you can see on the head sculpt, we've got whited out eyes and gurning white teeth. Well, if we have a look at the previous Juggernaut, we had coloured in eyes, yellowy teeth, with a bit more detail in the smile. So a little bit more love and care went into the original Juggernaut head. The helmet is different as well. Like I said, this is more comic accurate. It is, again, a soft rubber feel. I'm in two minds whether or not to swap the internal faces out with both Juggernaut if I do decide to keep this Juggernaut, as it is a little bit closer to the animated series cartoon in terms of colour. The hands are interchangeable, so just pull that out. As you can see, the little peg pop straight in, no problem. And that is a monstrous mitt. So yeah, that is quite a menacing looking hand from the Juggernaut. I really like the fact that we have been given some alternative hand sculpts for the figure and an alternative head, which I'll pop on now. There we go. Looks very hunch, looks a bit weird, but no doubt that's an accurate comic representation of Ken Marco. Obviously, the bigger you get, I think my missus calls them cloudmen. You tend to lose the neck area, and obviously with the helmet as well, there is, like I said, like a pin or a peg inside, which if you pop it down on, there you go, doesn't fall off. So that's quite a neat little addition. It holds it in place, but the helmet is a little bit wonky or cockeyed. Try and match it up to the eyeball itself. It makes it a little bit difficult, but you can sort of see the eye in there where it's matched up quite nicely. All in all, that is the Juggernaut figure. If you've had the Builder figure before, like I said, there isn't much difference side by side. As you can see, this really dark brown, the reds in the torso seem to be the same. The sculpted on parts here, or the sculpted rubber parts, aren't actually part of the arm itself. They are movable, like on this one. This one seems a little bit more loose. That's going to really annoy me. The cuffs on this one as well are loose. The hands with the knuckles are obviously all part of the same sculpt, but the helmet is all riveted, like it's been beaten up, or part of the metal that he does use. See that? So it does have a little bit more detail on it, and like I said, the face, but the belt as well. So I'm in two minds at the minute what I'm going to do with both these Juggernauts. After all, the display doesn't really need to, or does it need to? Let me know in the comments below if you are going to be picking up a second Juggernaut and what you plan on doing with it, because at the minute I am in two minds whether to keep one and sell one. Like I said, this guy here is probably worth about £30 on the resellers market, considering the 2-pack is 60. This guy, the Builder figure, was going for around about 50 upwards. At one point, the leg and the head were going for ridiculous money, because obviously they were difficult to get hold of. Juggernaut aside, having a look at Colossus. Now this guy is the rendition of Colossus we all wanted. For some reason, Hasbro went with this version, which is the duller grey, the more up-to-date version of Colossus. Did come with an awesome little beady head as well, which was pretty cool. But I think everybody was going to hold out and purchase this guy if they didn't already purchase the old Colossus. For me, I'll have one in two different teams, two different displays, got the all new giant size X-Men, or the original 90s X-Men, to which the Jim Lee version of Colossus will stand now pride of place, and then the older version of Colossus will be with the more all new Uncanny X-Men display. But again, looking at this figure, he's absolutely fantastic. The shine of the metal is beautiful. Again, like Nightcrawler, we've got this like rubbery layer over the top of the plastic, which is glued tightly down to the figure. The fins on the shoulders are a nice soft pliable plastic which don't hinder the articulation at all. We've got some rubber cuffs, which again I think are a new piece. Can't remember, or I can't remember seeing these on anybody else. We've got the rubbery fins on the knees, which is part of the knee joint, as you can see. So that's a completely separate piece to the leg, but part of the actual joint itself. Whether it's glued in place or whether it's moulded, I'm not too sure about taking the figure apart. We've got a floating belt piece as well, so that's a separate soft plastic which rests on the figure. But all in all, this figure is absolutely fantastic. You know, Colossus is a lovable guy, big lovable monster of a brutish guy. Really liked his rendition in the latest Deadpool movies. I thought they captured him really well. I'm just hoping that you kind of stick with that format going forward, or at least stick with the actor and the CGI design for the new X-Men films. We can only hope and pray that that's going to happen. The interchangeable hands for Colossus as well. A bit tight. There we go. Wrong hand. Again. So there's the fist. The fist does seem a little bit small for the character. I don't know if it's just me or what, but if you are planning on getting on this 2-pack, let me know if your fist do seem a little bit small. For such a big guy, he has small hands. I mean, it is possible. You know, not everybody rocks the same metric system when it comes to feet or legs, etc. To me, these hands seem just a little bit smaller than what they should for Colossus. Again, the feet on a hinged, nice pivot. No issues there. The articulation, really well done. You're going to get some fantastic poses out of this Colossus as well. Do a side-by-side comparison. As you can see, this Colossus, the original one that we got in the Warlock Wave, is a little bit darker. It's more of a gunmetal grey, whereas the older Colossus of the 90s look Colossus is very, very shiny indeed. So yeah, overall it's a fantastic 2-pack. Again, as a collector, personally, I'm a bit pissed that they're redoing the builder figures as a single figure, especially when obviously the niche of the wave is to collect them all to build the builder figure. Releasing it as a single figure or a part of a 2-pack is my, you know, bugbear or pet hate as such. But the fact that we get some additional accessories with Juggernaut does kind of blunten the blow just a little bit, but not enough for me to forgive Hasbro for all these re-renditions that we are getting. So yeah, if you are going to pick this 2-pack up just for Colossus to resell on Juggernaut, I don't think you'll have any issues moving him. Similarly, there are a lot of people just wanting the Colossus figure. We've already seen in Marvel Legends UK collectors group people wanting to buy the Colossus on its own and not really too interested with Juggernaut. So great for those that didn't manage to complete the Juggernaut first time around with the builder figure from the first X-Men wave of the new era of Hasbro. I'm not including the Treasure Us wave. So yeah, it was great for that. And again, there are a few nice selling points on the new Juggernaut, but for me, I'm now in two minds in terms of which do I keep, because I don't think I can have two in my collection. That's it from the Marvel Legends UK team. Thank you very much for checking out this review. If you haven't already, subscribe. Join us over on Facebook at facebook.com/groups/Marvel Legends UK, and also give us a follow on Instagram at Marvel Legends UK_. That's it from me. Keep safe, keep collecting. Take care. Bye.